It seems I have made a mistake. Hello, welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, we sew a lot, and this week we're gonna sew two projects. One is a project from scratch, and the other one is an alteration project. You know, to make it into something I will wear. Let's start with the from scratch project. It's this fabric, like a beautiful grayish blue, like a muted blue. It's a really nice feeling cotton, like it's soft. Which is not every cotton, some cottons are a bit rough, but this is a really nice one. I think it feels really nice. And what I'm gonna make with this is inspired by this picture that I'm gonna try and recreate, although I do not have straps. But I figured let's just start with the base and sew it as much as I can. And because else I'm never gonna do it, so start with that, and I can always go back to it and add the straps that I really like and the buttons I really like, because we're now going to just use what I have. But it would be really nice if eventually I also get like really nice pearly buttons. But first just gonna sew with the things I have in my possession. So this lovely thing is going to be a top. Next up I got this beautiful skirt that I really like, but a thing with me and long skirts are that I don't often like it. Like I like them either calf length or like more on the shorter side. I don't know, I feel like a stick if I just wear a full-on long skirt with no body. So I figured I might make a dress out of it. Like a simple dress, but a dress nonetheless, because I think the length would be really nice. Like it would be the length that I prefer, and it will also tackle the I don't know what to wear on top of this skirt problem. Can you see that it is like it's crocheted, I think, knitted? I don't know. What I think I'm gonna do is, well, get the elastic band off, because we do not need that. And I want to like have like a, what is that neckline called? Like a boat neck, like a white line. Like not like a t-shirt neckline, but like a little bit more white. Like it's an oval shape. An eye shape on top? I don't know. And obviously we need armholes. And I'm thinking like a bit of a deep armhole so that, I don't know. I think we're just gonna figure it out along the way. But yeah, two projects. Hopefully it'll make that this thing is gonna get worn again, because it's been in wardrobes and attics for quite a while. It hasn't really seen daylight very much, and I do always liked it, but it never felt quite like me, so we're just gonna vamp it up so that it will feel like me, and I will wear it because I do think it's cool. Yeah, it is black, which is not really my thing, although I'm saying that whilst wearing a black vest. It's one of my rare black things, but I'm for some reason I got a couple of more black things in my wardrobe lately. Like last video I revamped a dress which also belonged to my mum, because my mum really always loved black very much, and there was a period in my life that I loved black very much, you know. But I'm more like a colourful type. I mean, even this has colour, like blue and other. But yeah, I do think I'm gonna make this work, and it's nice to have something that doesn't fit you normally, like your vibe, but then, you know, sometimes you wake up and you feel different, you want to dress different. Anyway, I will take you along with the process of making these things, and I hope you enjoy. Bye. Or let's get to it. Let's go. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. Obviously, I started with doing some measurements to find out how big my rectangle needed to be. Marking those measurements on the fabric with some chalk and a ruler before I cut it out. And the first step of actually making it consists of ironing the upper and lower edge. First a centimeter in and then once more, but with 2 centimeters, so you have got a nice clean edge. However, it seems I have made a mistake. I've got it out and I ironed like the bottom and the top, and I was confused, like, how is this such a long top? It's because I measured wrong, and I was like trying to figure out like how could I have done that. But if you hold something like this up here and you read it upside down, the 28 can look like a 82, and that's what happened. So I need to cut it again. Well, yeah, sort of. I can't believe I did that. So annoying. But yeah, mistakes are made. Yeah. Check your measurements and read them correctly. Don't twist the numbers around, because then you get like... I was so confused why the length and the width were both the same. But that's because it isn't. Gosh. So we're gonna recut it. Well, not entirely. We're just gonna shorten it and then re-iron it. Oh, that was such a pain in the ass to do. But yeah, I should have done it directly. Then I wouldn't have to redo it. Yeah. Bye. So with that realization, I had to remark the new measurements, cut it out, and iron it all anew. I sewed the freshly folded edge down to secure and finish that part. Then, to create the actual structure to the top, I pinned some little channels from about 7 mm wide. I did 2 with just 5 cm space between them, the third one right under under my boobs, sort of, and then 2 again on the bottom, also with 5 cm between them. Sew this down, followed by the tedious task to pull some elastic through each of them. I had to do quite a number of attempts before I actually succeeded. And then to secure those elastic, I sewed them in place before I went to cut the piece to sew on the buttons and buttonholes. I cut a piece of interfacing as well, ironed it on to the 2 button strap pieces, and continued ironing to fold them in half, and each with a centimeter fold on the top, before I pinned them to the top and sewed them on. Then I ironed them neatly and ironed a sewing allowance of a centimeter to make the sewing a bit smoother. After that, I marked the placement of where I wanted the buttons and the buttonholes on each of the sides before I sewed the buttonholes in place and sewed the buttons on. Now the top is almost finished. I had to sew on the buttons, and all that was left to do was make the straps. I cut some long, thin straps of fabric that I sewed, folded in half, and attempted to pull it inside out with a string, later a safety pin and some other stuff, but failed time and time again. So I gave up and cut out new but wider straps and repeated the process, but now with success. And of course sewed them in place, hiding the stitches underneath the first channel where the elastic went through. Before I want to show you the end result, I want to start on the second project, the skirt. The process of this is quite, although surprising to me, simple. I cut a shirt that I liked the neckline of and pinned it to the top of the skirt. After I took out the elastic, of course, I copied the neckline with some chalk and then drew a sewing allowance of 1 cm as well. For the armholes, I measured how deep I wanted them to be and drew a rough shape that I thought would work. Again, I also drew a sewing allowance. I folded the skirt in half and aligned it perfectly before I started cutting it to make sure that both sides were even. Because it's a crochet dress, it's very important that you finish the edges, so that they won't disintegrate. Next step is to pin and sew the shoulders together with a straight stitch, followed by pinning down and sewing all the edges with the 1 cm sew allowance, just once to make sure you don't create a bulk. Because I wanted to have some waist defining, I sewed on these little hanging straps that were on the skirt before on both sides of my waist, which was also my last step. I did it. I finished the 2 projects. Did it all go smooth? No, but when does it ever? Am I happy with it? For the most part, yes. So let's start with the project I started first. It's a lot shorter than I anticipated on making, which is funny because as you remember, probably this video is not that long, I made the mistake to twist the 2 numbers around when measuring, and I got like way too much fabric. Then I adjusted it to what I originally measured. But the thing is, what I originally measured was without the calculations of these little tunnels for the elastic to go in. Yeah, I didn't take that in account, so that obviously made it a whole lot shorter, which is a shame because I think I would like it even more if it was like, you know, this length. But it is what it is. I do still really like it. I do still love it. It's a bit a lot of skin to be comfortable with, but I just really love the color on me, and I really like it. We'll see if I'm gonna wear it. You know, like maybe I'm gonna be too anxious about it, but it's probably gonna be fine. Just not wear it to family events. Yeah, the main thing I love is the color, or maybe I'm gonna redo this some other time and make it a longer piece, and do take it in account. I now have this video to watch back and see what mistakes I made. So like when I measured this and it's 28, it's not 82 like the first time, and it's also not 28 actually, because you have to add like, what is it? Like 1.5 centimeters for each tunnel, and then you get the right measurements. So I chose these buttons mainly because these were the buttons I had. I would love for it to be those little pearl buttons like the inspiration picture, but maybe for when I redo this project and make it remake this project into a bit of a longer version of it, and then do like the buttons to do it proper. It was a really nice learning experience. Even if you fuck up a project, you're still gonna learn a lot out of it, so it's not like wasted time. And then the other project is the skirt that went surprisingly easy. I procrastinated a lot before I started making it, but eventually I got there. I just got like a job where I liked the neckline of and copied that. I just did it in one go. I didn't check if it looked right, but it did look right. It says like if I just leave it loose, it's kind of like giving me a bit of like a 20s shape, which is nice because I might need a 20s piece. 20s looking in piece thing for an event, but although it's not really the shape I'm comfortable with. But I have these little strap things, hangers. They were hangers, like they were on the band of the on the band of the skirt from these loops, probably to hang it onto something. And what I did with them was attach them on the side so that I can pull it and tie it on the back so that it's like more tapered, which I really liked. Like it gave me a little bit like of a Audrey Hepburn little back dress moment. I'm very surprised at how well this dress works. Like I was kind of worrying that it would be like an okay job, but I wouldn't like it, but I think I really like it, and I also think it would be really fun to play around with in winter time, you know, to layer stuff underneath. Yeah, I'm very pleased with it, and it was basically free because it was my mum's. And the fear of that I might ruin it, I don't think I did. I think I improved on it. I grabbed this over the skirt many times. It's easier to wear. So yeah, it's a win. Yeah, what else can I say? Not much. You might have noticed that these videos have become a little less frequent. Maybe I should explain that. Maybe you haven't even noticed. Both is fine. I just decided to take it a little bit slower because of summer. Because of summer. I'm not doing very well with the heat, plus I'm not doing the best overall. So I'm just like taking it a bit more slow and not pushing it, because pushing is not working at the moment. Just have to go with the flow, and the flow is very slow. So that. So it's, instead of every other week, it's every 2 weeks probably, unless that is also not something I'm gonna make. Who knows? I probably am. I think this is a realistic plan. What I've got going at the moment, so that's good. But yeah, it's a bit slower as I first planned and it was first, but I'm still going, which is good, because normally I would have already crashed and burned and stopped doing everything, which is not good for my mental health, you know? So that's, but we're probably going to take it back up when the weather is more consistently not scorching. I don't know. Like, I like summer, I love summer, but I live in a tiny house surrounded by concrete and asphalt, which is not a very good combination during the heat, and also no trees. No trees at all, which means it's hot. Very hot. And there's no escape during the day. There's no escape during the night. Well, the night is cooler, but by that time I want to go to bed, and my bed is in the highest point of my house, which means it's very hot there, so I'm just basically sleeping with little ice packs on top of my body to just make sure that I don't explode. That's how it feels. I'm gonna explode from the inside. because I hate this building up. Anyway, that's why. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope you're gonna stick around for the next video and subscribe and perhaps give a like to this video and leave a comment on, I don't know, anything. I wish your summer or winter, depending on where you are, probably. So yeah, that's this video. I hope you had a good time. I will be back with another one, probably about 2-3 weeks. Time and numbers are not going well, which you might have noticed from this video. Anyway, see you next time. Bye. Okay, let's do this. I think. Hello. Hi. Hello. What's up? Hello. Welcome back. At least I assume you're back. And in this week's project, I have 2 projects. That doesn't make sense. Oh, I have paint on here. Sorry, got distracted.